Hello, good morning everybody. It is Sue from Paper Drake. I'm taking this opportunity whilst the sun is out and I've got a decent bit of light in my window to show you this latest book that I've made. It's based upon a book that I used to make when I was a child and is going to form part of a series of books that remind me of childhood. It is the general size that we use of 5 3/4 by 8 3/4, but this time, as you can see, I have turned it into a landscape book, and it has a 2 1/4 inch spine, hidden binding, and I'm just going to go ahead and let you have a look inside. Before I do that, the front bit is raised here, and inside I have thickly coated it with a palette knife to try to create a sort of painterly look of the inside. And then I have put a little raised dome charm, and inside that there is a dried hydrangea petal. So here we go. I've called this my family album, and that is because when I was a child we had various books that we used to make. We didn't have a lot of the entertainment things that they have these days, and so we used to have to make our own entertainment, and one of them was making books with memories in. So here we go inside. It's a wide book, so I do hope you can see all of that. I think you can. Yeah. I've tried to use a pattern reminiscent of the kind of things we had when I was a girl in the 50s, and I've made this book so that you can either put in your own photographs and keepsakes and memories, or you can put in some vintage ones, or even keep your vintage photo collection in here. So here we go. The first page, I've put a little tuck spot there, and these photographs in here are all original, apart from a couple of Tim Holtz photographs which I'll point out to you. I expect you'll recognise them anyway. I've used a kind of craft paper that's very much like sugar paper, which is the kind of thing we used to use. And I haven't put in this book huge amounts of stuff because it is really for you to add yours. I've got some coffee dyed paper, and here I've put a photograph which is removable. You can put in your own. It's actually a postcard of the interior of a grand house. And again, as a child, I've just done one page like this, just painted around to give an idea of what we used to do, and I've also edged some of the 6 signatures with gold paint too. So there's plenty of space here, plenty of room for you to put all of your memories. Here we have the Tim Holtz photographs, and a little it's not a tuck spot, it's just a little decoration, and over those things that stick up a little bit, we always used to put a little bit of tracing paper, because we were trying to emulate some of the things that we would get if we were to buy an album, wedding album, christening. They always had these lovely soft protective papers across the top. Here is something that I thought was quite nice to add. This is an original postcard, and it's about friendship, and it was sent to someone as a Christmas greeting. just put that in there so you can put it where you like. More coffee stain paper and little bits of oddments of coffee stain paper and parchment paper, tracing paper. That's a little tiny tuck spot there. This is a rose that I pressed a few years ago. There's a journaling space on the back, and I think these kind of things are really lovely to keep because they remind you of events in your life that you want to remember. There's another one there that I've edged with gold. Quite nice for a flower decoration or postcard that is more delicate perhaps. And here we have one that is just like that. This is a souvenir from the Alps, and it is a very old mounted flower which has been dried and pressed, but it's quite prominent on the card, and there's a little bow there. Again, that's an original. This isn't an original in that sense, but it isn't vintage, but it's from an idea inspired by gibbet, and that is some hydrangeas, which feature quite a lot in this book because they were all in bloom, and I had an opportunity to pick some and do some eco dyeing with them and some pressing. Another little area there. In this bit, I've made a little pocket, and in fact you can alter this book yourself by putting some of the small papers together and making your own pockets. But I thought it was good fun because we've all, I think, got photographs that are dear to us, but maybe are not exactly David Bailey type photos. And on this one, the people's hats have been cut off, so I thought that's quite a good place to put the ones you don't really want to mount, but that you don't want to hide either. This I thought was quite a nice spot for wedding photographs. More papers for you to fill in. There are 6 signatures in this book. Little Tim Holtz butterfly. This is another original postcard to my dear sweetheart. It's got a very shiny cover. I've seen quite a lot of these around. I think it has horseshoes and things around it, so although it says birthday, it's maybe, I don't know, it's more symbolic of a wedding, I would have thought. But it was sent to someone called Alison, and Stephen sent all of his love, so I thought it was quite a romantic little thing to put in. Here again, more original photographs. I thought they looked like quite a nice couple, although she seems a bit more determined to ignore the gaze of adoration coming from the gentleman on the other side. Great fun when looking at some of the old photographs. They're quite scary. This little few pages of different papers, I've put a little tuck spot there, and you can write on that, but I thought it was quite a nice place just to put the snapshots that you want to remember for different reasons. They can be just tucked away there. And they're less formal shots really. So this one is of people that are on a ship, and this is a very kind looking gentleman in his garden, and there are bits of greaseproof paper there, nice swirls of ink across the top just to catch the light. There's a nice bit of journaling space there. I suppose these books, when we made them, were kind of precursors to the junk journal, and I've tried to make this as close to how we used to do it, but also incorporating some of the ideas from junk journals. So it's a little mixture. Lovely little tuck spot there with some violets. Here is another one of those mini albums within the album, and there you see the other Tim Holtz photo booth pictures. It's quite a nice space to put that kind of picture in. It just keeps them all in one little place. Here are some very stern looking people here. Again, these are more original photographs which I bought from a flea market locally. Lots and lots of space, and it's a slightly looser binding to enable you to fill up this book, because as it takes room it does expand quite a lot, and this will allow for that. Beautiful original photograph there of a lady with her book at a table, planning her next junk journal. And here in this little tuck spot there is a photograph from Morecambe. There we are, sorry about that. And that's written, and it was sent to an address in St Ives in Cornwall, which is just down the road from where I am, and was actually bought from that area too, so it hasn't strayed very far during the years. There's another little pocket here, and inside I've put a dried leaf, and this is a little greetings card, and I love the old greetings cards because they had these inserts, so you didn't just get a card like you do on most of them today. You had a proper insert inside, and I think that's lovely, tied with a little ribbon there. Another postcard. This is from a house called Pendleton, and it's something that my nan used to do, have cards printed up from where they lived. I think it gave them an air of being a bit well-to-do. And just as we're coming to the end of the book, you find more journaling space. There's a little tuck spot here with an eco-dyed paper and a hydrangea, and the eco-dyeing is done with your hydrangeas too, and a journaling spot, so that's a little place there for notes. And then put a book plate in, and here at the back a little envelope beautifully made by Sigita, and inside there are there's a selection of different kinds of photographic mounts. There's a little one lot here which are see-through, transparent, and then these two lots here. So you've got the start on making your own photographs. There's a lovely bit of vintage embroidery there of some blue flowers, and a lovely little hydrangea flower just nestling in there, and kept all together with a lovely little pin for you to start your own collection of memories. So there we have it, my family album, and I hope that you like it and will visit my Etsy shop and have a look. So thank you very much for stopping by and listening to me, and have a lovely day. Bye bye.